Hi, my name is Dale from Solution Pro Refinishing and Tub Repairs. You can see a tub that we have to do this afternoon is in extremely rough condition. This particular resident decided that they want to try to save the sidewall, so we're not going to be having to refinish those in this case because they think it'll clean up just fine. But they do want us to make the bottom of their tub look brand new again. And it would be extremely costly for them in this situation to replace the tub, because really what happens then, all the tile has to come out too, because you'll damage the tile when you take out the tub. And a lot of people run into these situations, and we can save a tub like this, a tub that looks really rough and extremely bad condition like this. We can make it look like a new tub. So we'll be working on this for several hours trying to make it look nice, and we wanted you to see the before and after of the refinishing process. As you can see, what we've done is we scraped the caulk from around the top edge of the tub, got the old caulk out of there, and I've done a lot of grinding in the bottom and exposed some bumps and chips and stuff that'll have to be filled. So we got a little more grinding to do, and then we're going to clean it with a solvent cleaner and see what it looks like after that. And here we go, continuing on. Okay, an update. What we've done is, after I'd taken out all the old caulk around the top side of the tub, I put in a new line of caulk and then taped it off to get it ready for refinishing. The whole tub got grinded down in the bottom, and I put on a wipe-on bonding primer, which would assist us with adhesion. And then also, to hide some of the imperfections in the bottom of the tub, I put on a high build primer. But I'm also going to put on actually a third primer, which is an epoxy resin primer, over the entire tub before we actually start refinishing. But we're to the point now where she's looking good, and we're ready to go ahead with this epoxy primer. Alright, we just finished with spraying on 2 coats of epoxy resin primer. Excellent primer, great for adhering to the tub. It's an epoxy is great as a primer coat. Epoxies are not good as a top coat though, like you see in some of your kits that you buy at the local hardware store that mixes epoxy and a polyurethane together, and that's the top coat. The problem is they yellow horribly in about 6 to 12 months, and then even have a peeling and cracking problem down the road. But we use acrylic polymers for the top coat that we'll be putting on after this. And I got to let this dry for about 20 minutes, this resin primer, and then we'll go ahead and start putting our coats of acrylic polymer on. I have just put on the first coat of acrylic polymer. It's a high gloss pure white. Just to give you an idea what it looks like after the first coat. We tend to put on about 3 coats of this. You want it a certain thickness, at least 3 millimeters thick, otherwise you could have peeling problems, so your paint has to be a certain thickness. So we got to let this dry for about another 10 minutes or so until it gets a little tacky before we can put on our second and then finally our third coat. The good companies that are out there use acrylic polymers for their top coats because they don't have a problem with yellowing. This pure white will stay pure white for years if you take care of it and stay off of it with Brillo pads and that type of thing. Use you want to keep a high sheen on this tub for years. Use scrubbing bubbles, 409 spray, Lysol tub and tile cleaner. Try to use non-abrasive cleansers on any tub, even tubs that haven't been refinished before. You don't want to use those abrasive cleansers on them. So I say treat it kind of like you would your car. Your car, you don't go out and take a Brillo pad and Ajax to your car. And your car will stay looking beautiful for a long time, 10, 15 years if you take care of the paint. Okay, we finished putting on the final coat of acrylic polymer. 3 coats of top coat on it after all the priming coats we put on. I think it turned out real nice compared to what it was to begin with. This whole job took us about 3 hours roughly, and the dry time on this is about 6 hours. I use a fast dry product that we add a catalyst to, which is a hardener, and a catalyst will help it to dry faster as well. So and a lot of the refinishers around town have use the 24 or 48 hour dry time stuff because it's less expensive. And I realize that people have to get back in their tubs. You know, they want to take a shower as soon as possible, so that's why I use fast dry products. So, and this is warranted against yellowing, cracking, and peeling. If anybody has any problems or any complaints, it's no questions asked. We come back and take care of any problems. So, but this turns out beautiful. Looks very nice.